What's up guys, it's Mizuna, and welcome back to episode 12 of our Direwolf20 modded Let's Play experience. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope that you're having a good one. Today, I've got a few plans, a few bits and pieces that I'd like to get to in Blood Magic, and one tech project that I'd like to do. So, let's jump right in, shall we? First off, I'd like to show you this. This is the Demon Crucible and the Demon Crystallizer from Blood Magic. These items I crafted off camera, and essentially they allow us to get Demon Will Crystals. These are used for a few things, but one of them that I've already used is to get the Greater Tataric Gem. You probably heard some pistons firing just now. We'll get to that in a second. And the Greater Tataric Gem can hold 16,000 will. So it's upgraded my Sentient Sword to the point where with Sharpness 5 it is more powerful than my Bound Sword. So I have my Bound Sword put away. There's an Enderman there because Endermen spawn in the Well of Suffering farm and then they teleport out. So that's why this guy's here. That is the reason for that. So yeah, that's what this does. So I've got my common Tataric Gem in there. It's now empty actually, so I'll put my greater one in there. We're hoping for, there are 4 different varieties of will, other than just the raw one. There is, corrosive will, destructive will, vengeful will, and steadfast will. I already got the vengeful and the steadfast. I want the destructive because it makes my sword do even more damage when it's combined with a Tataric Gem. But that's kind of off topic. I'm just doing that off camera because it's something that I wanted to get done. Over here, you can see I've moved the alloy smelter and the sag mill over, and I've actually crafted some octadic capacitors. We can show you the recipe for these. These are 2 double layer capacitors, which are just 2 basic capacitors with energetic alloy. These require Vibrant Alloy, which is energetic with an Ender Pearl, and these essentially make the machines run much faster, so that's very cool. These lava crystals, by the way, work great in generating blocks, things that burn things to generate RF, which is why I have another one in my inventory, because one of the things that we're going to do today, that I've got a bunch of recipes laid out here for, requires it. I'm actually going to pick up this painting machine. I don't need it right now. We might later, but not for now. Let's run outside and show you something here. I set this up off camera just last night or the night before and let it run. Ow. Didn't know mobs could spawn there. Interesting. Underneath this, I actually have a Ritual of the Green Grove from Blood Magic running. It's similar to, it's a ritual, so it runs just like the other rituals, but it makes plants grow faster, and it does work on sugarcane. On top of this drawer, I have an Ender Hopper from Dark Utilities. We can see the recipe for that here. Pretty easy, just an Ender Pearl, Obsidian, and a Hopper, and this will pick items up that fall around it and put them into the drawer. Or anything, any other inventory. Works with all inventories. So that's really cool. Now we don't ever have to worry about sugarcane again, which is good. I just needed sugar, so I decided to set that up. So, what's the project for today? Today, I am sick of having to find sand and gravel and, well, sand primarily to get glass. I'm constantly running out of glass, and I'm constantly having to go over here and make some. It's not like a huge pain in the butt, but it is definitely not really what I want. So today, we're going to fix that. We're going to make a Cobbleworks. Basically, the idea is we generate cobblestone, put that into a drawer, use the cobblestone from that drawer in a block that crushes it into sand, then use that sand and smelt it into glass. And in the end, we should have a drawer that contains cobblestone, sand, and glass, and never runs out of any of them. It'll also contain some gravel, I believe. So yeah, that's what we're going to do today. I think it shouldn't be too hard. I've got some recipes laid out here. So the first step of this process is we need to generate cobblestone. How we're going to do this is with extra utilities, transfer node with a mining upgrade. For those of you who've played previous versions of extra utilities, these used to be called world interaction upgrades. Now they're called mining upgrades, and essentially they allow you to mine cobblestone or pump water, as the tooltip there says. For this, we need the upgrade base, for which we need the resonator. I have that recipe here. You get resonating redstone crystal from... Oh, I didn't know you could make it. That's interesting. You get this from redstone ore. If you break redstone ore, then sometimes you get the resonating redstone crystal. This is a block of coal, redstone, iron, super easy. So there you go. We have our resonator. Now, this is an interesting idea. You can see here that we need 8 GP. That stands for grid power. So Extra Utilities 2 has a per-player power system where you can generate power anywhere in the world, and it's linked to your specific power network. That's your grid. Remember those water mills that we got as a gift a while ago? Yeah, we're going to use these today. So let's set up an area where we're going to lay these out. How these work is the more flowing water they have around them, the more energy... Yeah, the more energy they generate. So what I think I'm going to do here... No, that's not good. I think... You know, I'll probably end up just... Let's grab some stone here. I think I've got some chiseled, I do. Let's lay this out in here for now. No, let's lay it out as like an addendum to the base. How about that? So going out to the corner here, if I put one of the water mills here, this will make more sense when I'm actually done doing it. So if I put one of them there, and then a water source there, these two sides will be at full power. If I put a water mill here, that side will also be at full power, so will this one. And then we can put a water source here. I'm not doing this properly. How do I want to do this? I'm trying to work out like the geography of this. Basically, you want the block directly next to the source block to flow into the watermill. So what if I just do this, 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 and this? That should cover the... That should cover all 4 of those interior sides. If I put this here, then I should be generating... I'm generating 16 grid power right now. But that's only one side. These can generate power per side. So I'm also going to want a water source here. To catch those two, I'm going to want a water source here. To catch those two. Yeah. Interesting. I'm not sure what I'm doing here still. Let me cut and lay this out, and I will be right back. Alright. I took a closer look, and I determined that 4 just wasn't a very optimal number of these things to have. 8 is much more efficient, so I went ahead and made 4 more. The recipe isn't too hard. If we take a look here in JEI, stone burnt is made with polished stone, which is made with just stone in a 4 pattern. Just stone bricks in a 4 pattern makes polished stone. You need 6 of those, so that's not hard. In the resonator, the resonating crystal, which once again, we saw how to make that, and redstone gears, which is just redstone torches around wood. So not super hard. And this pattern gives us 128 grid power just with 8 of these watermills. And it's super easy to expand. If I just went out this way, and then... Anyway, you can see, it's super easy to expand. Just it's infinitely tileable, which is really cool. So in the future, if we want to make this like a GP generation like spot, then we could. But 128 GP seems like a lot for now. I don't know. I don't think we really need that much. So the next thing we need to do is, now that we have grid power, while we were derping around there, we made our upgrade base. The upgrade base is made with a weighted pressure plate in the resonator. One of those with a golden pickaxe makes an upgrade mining. So now we need to set this up to run. And I think right over here is where I'm going to do it. So I want... my lava bucket. And I want my water bucket. And that should make us an infinite source of cobblestone. If we put our transfer node on there with the upgrade mining, then we should see that we get cobblestone flowing in here. Super easy. Now we're going to want a drawer. Do I have just a basic drawer? I do. Excellent. So we're going to want a drawer. I'm going to put it here. We're going to want to put our transfer pipe on the side. So now we have cobblestone just coming into the system all the time. And now we can use that cobblestone to do a number of things. The route I've chosen to do this with is thermal expansion. We've played a little bit with Ender IO. Thermal expansion, I have fond, nostalgic feelings towards thermal expansion. It's one of my favorite tech mods, definitely. So what we're going to need is a way to generate power. I chose a furnace generator from Extra Utilities. Going to put that here. And I'm going to put my lava crystal in there. And as you can see, it's not consumed, and we generate power. So there you go. Power generation taken care of. We're also going to need a few things from thermal expansion. So these are some basic crafting materials. Copper gears, just copper around iron. Going to need 4 of those. Redstone reception coils, just redstone and gold. Going to need 2 of those. Tin gears, going to need 2 of those. Tin around iron. And this is the basic block. It's the machine frame from thermal expansion. Just a tin gear, glass, and iron. Then we're going to need 1 of those here. And that is our pulverizer. It's like a sag mill from Ender IO, but operates just a little bit differently. Machine frame here, gears here, reception coil here, and you have our redstone furnace, And that's just a way to smelt things. So, excellent. Now, I don't remember if I can set this to in and out from the top. I hope I can. Otherwise, this is going to be a little bit trickier than I had imagined, but not too bad. Pretty simple still. So, now both of these are getting power, and they're both being fueled off of my blood network. And because our Well of Suffering is as good as it is, I can do this continually. This is not a problem for me. So, now we need to set up a way for... Oh, well, there you go. I found a way to get the cobblestone in there. So these have auto input, which is really cool. So this will automatically input cobblestone from the left-hand side now, giving us gravel and sand. Now we just need our, I think I already have them, I do, item conduits. If we take the items out from the top, and we disable this connection, and set this to in and out, hopefully this will work. If we set this, then what we should see hopefully... Oh, if this was set to extract always on, then what we would see is this is now making glass. So that's really cool. So now we need a drawer, which shouldn't be hard. Just going to use a basic 2x2 drawer here. Put this here. Now this should be able to export from the side. And now we have glass in there. Excellent. And this should be able to insert as well. And now we have gravel. So, wow, that was easy. Very, very easy. So now what we should have here is just an infinite loop. This will make glass until this fills up with sand after the glass has filled up. And then this will continue crafting until the sand fills up here, and we'll get gravel as a byproduct. And that's all a self-contained system. Wow, so easy. And now we don't ever have to worry about glass again. There you go. Now we can speed these up. And the way we do that is with upgrade kits. A bronze gear... Oh, excuse me. I think the easiest one is, yeah, copper and tin makes bronze from forestry. With Invar, which is a blend of iron and nickel, makes a hardened upgrade kit. That can speed things along. It speeds the machine up, gives it a bigger energy buffer, and also gives us an augment slot, which we'll get to in a second. Reinforced requires electrum, which is just silver and gold, and silver gears, which I can do. So I can get to reinforced pretty easily. Hardened glass, this requires... Okay, so no, I can't. But I can get to hardened right now. So that's pretty easy. If we just look in here, I don't know why this is no longer auto-selecting. I think I should have some iron in here. I don't know how much I'll need. Let's just make 16. And I think I have some nickel as well. I do. And then 2 iron plus 1 nickel gives me Invar. Then copper plus tin gives me bronze. Then I'm going to need some iron, which we can get just like that. If I look at those upgrade kits once again, we'll also need some redstone. So now what I should be able to do is... I think I only need 2 of those, right? Do those not stack? They do. Okay, good. Yeah, just need 2 of those. I need 4 Invar per, so 8 Invar, which I can just run over to my alloy smelter and smelt away. Might as well smelt it all, I suppose. Then, there you go, 2 hardened upgrade kits. Now, if I just click these on to the redstone furnace and it says redstone furnace in the tooltip, which is confusing, but this is the pulverizer, then you can see this is going a little faster, and it also has a little bit more RF storage. So that's really cool. Now, to speed this up even further, what we need is augments. And if we look at the most basic augment, it is an auxiliary reception coil, and this increases machine processing speed. So gold, redstone, and a redstone reception coil. That's pretty easy. Can put a bunch of this stuff away now. Okay. So I think I'll need 5 of these and 4 of those, I think. So that's 8 plus 1, so 10. That should be right. We need 2 reception coils. And then we need, just like this? Yeah, auxiliary reception coils. So now if I open these guys up, or apparently you can just right-click as well. So that should speed things on even faster. You can see it goes right into the augmentation slot here. The other thing upgrading this does is it allows us to have a redstone control, which is pretty cool. So there you go. Cobbleworks achieved. We're going to get glass, 8 stacks of it, sand, 8 stacks of it, and I think this will actually... Okay, so the one thing we do need to do here is lock a space for sand. So if I just set this to active with signal for a moment, I should get a piece of sand. Lock that. Like this, and then I can grab my keys here, quantify, and lock it into those positions. And there you go. Cobbleworks achieved. So that was a really easy, fun project, and that is now going to be a really cool way for us to have a good amount of glass on hand at any time. I'm surprised how smoothly that went. So I'm going to take a look at the time we have left for the video and see if there are a few more bits and bobs we can do, so to speak, and then I will return briefly. It looks like we are actually out of time for this episode. So just... Wow, time flies when you're having fun, huh? But this is a really cool thing to get done. Basically, having access to all of these materials at all times is going to be a huge boon moving forward. Not having to worry about glass or anything like that from now on, going to be really, really good. So, I think one thing I forgot to mention here is that inside of here is a timer from Dark Utilities, and that's how I'm controlling when those pistons fire. So that's cool. The other thing that I did not update you on before we part ways is if we go on up to our blood altar, this thing's going really well. I removed the incense altar because with the Well of Suffering, we just don't need it. And we have as many reinforced, imbued, and blank slates as we could possibly need moving forward. So that's not something that we ever have to worry about again. One thing I will say about this system is that it does not work when I'm logged off, because obviously the mobs despawn. There are a few ways to get around that. We could use powered spawners from Ender.io. We could use resturbed spawners. But the Cursed Earth is serving us really well for now. I think the easiest way to go about it, actually, is just going to be to gather up some witches and then put some name tags on them so that they don't despawn. So I might work on doing that in between episodes. We actually can make name tags with an alchemy catalyst, which is really cool. That's something I've actually wanted to get into a few times, so I think I'll craft this off camera, actually. Just a couple of brewing stands, a little bit of gold, a little bit of living rock, and a mana pearl. Like, that's pretty easy. I'll craft that off camera, and I think that I will also off camera gather up some witches and give them some names, so that they just don't despawn, which will be really, really cool. That also means that we can get rid of the Cursed Earth and use that for a different project if we should so desire. For now, this is working really well, but next episode, expect this whole thing to be cleaned up a little bit. Alright, updating done. It's time for me to head out. I've got some editing to do and need to put this video together. man, it was a fun episode, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for coming along. If you liked the video, leave a like and a comment down below. Subscribe for more content every day. If you want recording to become more a part of my life than it already is, consider hitting that button in the lower right-hand corner of the screen. That'll take you to my Patreon page, and you can become a supporter. I hope I see you next time. As always, this is Mizuna, signing off. To the beautiful sound of mobs dying.